Hello, God Saints, and welcome to today's Bible Moment with Pastor Fred. Today's Bible Moment is coming from Psalm 1. Psalm 1. Let's read this Psalm. There's about 6 verses of it. Blessed is the one who does not walk in step with the wicked, or stand in the way that sinners take, or sit in the company of mockers, but whose delight is in the law of the Lord, and who meditates on his law day and night. That person is like a tree planted by streams of water, which yields its fruit in season, and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever they do prospers. Not so with the wicked. They are like chaff that the wind blows away. Therefore, the wicked will not stand in judgment, nor sinners in the assembly of the righteous. For the Lord watches over the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked leads to destruction. God bless the reading, hearing, and doing of his most holy word. Our moment for today is the way of righteousness. The way of righteousness. We need to choose the way of righteousness, the way that we are traveling through this pilgrim journey called life. There are many detours, construction, roads that are damaged, that are blocked, highways, byways, streets, you name it, and alleyways. But we need to pick the right road and be on the road to the way of righteousness. For I noticed in this psalm, it speaks of traveling, it speaks of moving, it speaks of the direction that we're headed. And it's given us an indication of when we are firmly planted in the Lord, in the Word of God, that will lead us in the path of righteousness, in the path of blessing, then that way will be prosperous. But if we choose the wrong road, if we're going down the road that leads to destruction, that is what we will find. And Psalm 1 seems to present a choice that all of us must make. There's a fork in the road of life. One route is the way of righteousness, which leads to blessing, and the other is the path of sinners, the way of sinners, and it leads to destruction. And he starts off the psalm, blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stands in the path of sinners, nor sit in the seat of the scornful, but his delight is in the law of the Lord. And it's talking about what the ungodly do, what the ungodly's path is. And in the original Hebrew, the word translated counsel. In the counsel of the ungodly, that counsel is a noun meaning something that provides direction or advice as to decision or course of action. The ungodly have a path, a way of thinking, a mindset that leads to godlessness. And to walk not in that way, that counsel, means to reject all of their advice, that we are different. We can't do what they do. We don't need to associate. Light has nothing to do with darkness. There should be a difference in our life. That light of Christ in us should make us stand out and be different from among them. I can't do what they do. And it includes avoiding any guiding influence that might shape one's way of life or living. Walking involves progress. It is movement. Thus, these verses are saying, don't walk in that counsel. Don't stand in that path. Don't sit in that seat. The progression paints a picture of someone walking in sin, then stopping to stand and absorb it and take it all in And then finally it transforms us to where we just sit down and we're comfortable in it, enjoying the fleeting pleasures of sin. Not walking or standing or sitting with the ungodly implies steering clear of sin, avoiding participating in every aspect of the sinner's way of life. Paul had warned us in the New Testament that bad company corrupts good character in 1 Corinthians 15 and 33. And we should not be associated with that. So it's teaching me that I need to get rid of those worldly influences that will cause me to walk and hear it and then sit down and listen to it and just progresses until I become it. A believer who walks not in the counsel of the ungodly will stick to biblical principles for our daily living. For the Bible tells us the word of God is a lamp to guide our feet and a light for our path. And the psalmist is also saying that our delight is in the law of the Lord, where we meditate on that word day and night. So garbage in, garbage out. We need to get rid of the garbages in our lives. We need to get rid of those ungodly influences in our lives, and we need to be feeding on pure spiritual milk. We need to be feeding on what is going to help us to be planted. And this is what this says in verse 3, that person is like a tree planted by streams of water. That is going to be refreshing. That tree is planted right near that river, and that river is feeding that tree and sustaining that tree to grow and to be nourished. And then it's going to produce a righteousness or fruit in season where our leaves do not wither. So we need to get into what verse 2 tells us, to delight in the law of the Lord and to meditate on that law day and night. Each and every day you should be feeding on this word, getting into the word of God and letting it dwell in you and sitting at the feet of Jesus, and let his streams of living water give you strength and nourishment for your soul. God bless you. God smile upon you. And one more housekeeping moment. We're getting ready to start our online and in-person Bible studies. So what you want to do is message me your email address and phone number, your cell phone number, so we can get out the information to you and have the Zoom link, because we're going to be doing it on Zoom, and we'll have that link for you through your email and cell phone, and we'll get that. And we also want to include a biblical resource page that I designed for our Bible studies, to where it's not just the pastor's teaching. I want you to be feeding on this word, getting into it. And so some of the resources, listening to online teaching that will feed your soul, online Bible studies, study Bibles, study materials, concordances, dictionaries from the Hebrew and Greek translation, so that we get a better understanding of what the word means for us. Well, shout out to the pastor. Let me know that God is blessing you and God is going to turn this thing around. Happy Sunday.